Hey guys, me again. Um, so it seems things have escalated in the war front, so to speak, between Russia and Ukraine. I notice an awful lot of people talking about nuclear power and nuking the likes of Kiev and cities like that, but I don't see nuclear power being brought into this at all. Um, I know it seems the Russians crossed the border via Belarus to secure Chernobyl, I believe. But that's not in any way connected to them wanting specific um, nuclear anything really. I'd say that's probably a case of if that does go down, they want that plant safe. But the big question a lot of people are asking is, are Russia going to launch a nuclear attack on Ukraine? And to be honest, I think that's a very stupid question, because you're not going to launch a nuclear attack on something you want. You know, Russia want Ukraine, like between natural resources and the like. They don't want to destroy that. They're not going to scorch the earth between them and Europe. I mean, they supply parts of northern Germany with their pipelines that are going through Ukraine. There's so much more to Ukraine than meets the eye as regard Russia. So they're not going to they're not going to launch anything nuclear on Ukraine, because even just forget about that it's land that they want. It's the fact that nuclear fallout alone would be very troublesome for Russia. I mean, this is the problem with this is the problem with nuclear power. It's like it's like a dick measuring contest. You know, they're going to swing that shit everywhere, but at the end of the day, they're not going to stick it where it's going to hurt them. You know what I mean? They're not going to stick it where they don't want to stick it. But that's all it is. And to be honest, nuclear power is outdated anyway. You know, you can always talk, oh, we have this many nuclear warheads, blah 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 blah. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, because you're not going to do anything with them. Uh, the world has become a lot smaller, even though it's become bigger. You can destroy an awful lot more people, plus an awful lot more of your own people, if you're going to launch a nuclear attack. Plus, I would say the people who would launch a nuclear attack would be the same people who would be targeted by the opposition. And of course, if Russia launch any sort of a nuclear attack, if they did, like, it's a very, to say it's a last resort is an understatement. Then NATO are going to return. But the only issue that can be seen with this war is if NATO get involved, which they're probably going to do, let's face it, and they push into Russia, that Russia possibly could launch an attack on a minor scale on the further, how would I put it, the further borders of Eastern Europe outside their own. So technically they'd be pushing a bit more west, but to us over here it would be kind of the start of the Eastern Front. But there's lots of connotations. I mean, not even to call into consideration, like, the fact that the US haven't sent troops yet, or won't, it seems, for the moment. But a lot of the right wing media are pushing for troops to be sent over. This there's going to be very limited amounts of this war won on land or man on man, so to speak. That this war is going to be won further afield, not even in the political sense, but in the monetary sense and the cyber sense. That Russia have money everywhere, and if they start pulling that money, there's a lot of economies at the minute going to go down, including the British economy, it seems. So Boris is looking at sanctions left, right, and centre for Russia, but I mean, the problem is the same problem they have with Iran. That Iran have had so many sanctions universally since the 80s that they're now self-sustainable. So any sanctions that are being put on them are basically just they're just to show of big balls, basically, by that country. That's all, in their little dick swing, in just their dick swinging contest again. So it's not going to matter what is done to Russia sanction-wise, because the oil and the gas that they control, going into a lot of Europe through Ukraine, is going to be troublesome for the parts of Europe it's supplying to get, let's just say, to get a replacement for that gas and oil and all this, should Russia decide we're flipping the switch and turning it off and fucky. So it's going to be interesting. One thing I would say, I know the Irish government were talking lately about the Russian boats off, or the Russian warship off the coast that was supposedly going to be launching missiles, just a training exercise. Just a quick update. That was not an exercise in swinging military hardware out across the Atlantic. That was specifically, and you can look at these plans yourself, should you please. That was basically planning where they would hit as regards a cyber attack, because the point they were going to pull up on was around where most of the, how would I put it, the hardware running underwater for internet access across Europe is based. So basically what they're going to be doing is, because obviously you can't run electric wires over water, they have them all underwater, and what they're going to do is they're going to basically hack it. So they're not stupid. The Russians know damn well this is going to be won elsewhere. So when you have the likes of the nuclear mad French that are like dogs on a lead waiting to launch someone at something, because you know, when war came knocking on their door, the first thing they did was run. You know, and they've been biting at the bit to make peace about that ever since. But you know, so be it. So when Macron and the like want to push the big red button, the Russians will be there. Press it, because it ain't going to fucking work. You're looking at a new age as regards war. There's very little of this going to be won on land. Like I said, there's going to be a couple of strategic points, just kind of in a show of the traditional sense. But when you're looking at war now, you're looking at remote control warfare. You're looking at drones. The new fighter planes that are remote controlled, the whole works. You're looking at a complete war being run behind a computer keyboard. something maybe akin to an Xbox remote. Maybe there's some truth about the US military hawking out the best gamers from Call of Duty and World of Warfare or whatever, all those war games, Medal of Honor, that's it. Hunting down all those top end players around the world they're obviously going to be used for all this new shit. But anyway, it's going to be interesting over the next coming days to see what's going on. But I do know Putin is possibly a lot more clever than the man's been given credit for. There's a reason people fear him in his own country. And there's a reason a lot of rich people fear him in his own country, because he'll leave them penniless. And he has done. So, he'll win this on words. He'll win this with very little warfare. I mean, the only way the warfare is going to be coming is possibly by the likes of NATO and everyone else wanting to swing their balls in left, right and centre. I mean, he took Crimea without a shot. He's a clever man. But anyway, this is the Wolf over and out. I'll catch you soon, guys. Hit me up in the comments. Thank you.